Shalom, my friends, this is Max Joseph, and I'm here because I just saw The Five Bloods. Five Bloods is directed by Academy Award winner Spike Lee. I will never get sick of saying that. It stars Delroy Lindo, Clarke Peters, Norm Lewis, Isaiah Whitlock Jr., Jonathan Majors, and Chadwick Boseman. And the story goes like this. 4 African-American vets battle the forces of man and nature when they return to Vietnam seeking the remains of their fallen squad leader and the gold fortune he helped them hide. But before I go into my review, please make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and ding that little bell to get notified whenever I post new videos. My friends, I cannot believe what I just watched. For many reasons. First, it's Spike Lee, and anything that man touches is pretty much gold to me, pun unintentionally intended, and it's just something to be watched by everyone because it is history happening in front of our eyes. Second, Delroy Lindo, and also Delroy Lindo. I'll talk about him more in a minute, but Delroy Lindo. Third, this thing had me from the very beginning. It starts with the greatest himself, Muhammad Ali, then goes to LBJ from the White House, Neil Armstrong landing on the moon, and it continues into a bunch of incredible archival footage that sets up our story. Then, the incredible story happens, and then it ends with a montage and includes a Black Lives Matter meeting, amongst other things that make the film somehow feel like it was made because of the events that happened less than a month ago. But this is nothing new for Spike. He's been creating this art since the 80s, and the films that he created then are unfortunately just as relevant today as they were decades ago. I could argue this is the most culturally significant film to come out in the last 20 years. When was the last time a film as prevalent as this one came out? I genuinely cannot think of another one that came out recently that was as on the nose of today's current events and as vital as this one is. Here are my bullet points for The Five Bloods. Bullet point number 1, Delroy Lindo. My friends, he isn't just trying to get an Oscar nomination, he is fighting to win that thing. And I think he can do it. He did not come to play games. This man easily gave the best performance of his career. He also gave, without question, the best acting of the year. Towards the end of the film, he delivers a one-shot, 3-minute long, I'm not sure how long, but it felt like 3-minute long Shakespearean-like soliloquy, and I thought to myself, oh, okay, cool. Delroy Lindo just gave some of the best acting I've ever seen. Delroy Lindo just gave what I think will be one of the most memorable performances in any Spike Lee movie. This was like Viola Davis in Fences acting. It is that good for me. The depth that this character had, the arc and the demons that Spike gave him. Lindo showed how PTSD can just tear you apart from inside out. My friends, this is some historic work being done by a couple of geniuses. So say it with me. Delroy Lindo. Oscar. Bullet point number 2. For all the people who think that Spike Lee wouldn't be able to deliver another knockout after BlacKkKlansman, well, I disagree. One of my favorite things about a Spike Lee film is that when you see one of his films, you know it is a Spike Lee joint. I talk about it all the time, but his films have instant identity. And I think very few directors have that. Like, when you see a Tarantino or a Scorsese film, you know it's theirs. And Spike is the same. The way his films flow, the way they're shot, the words, the performances, the messages. It is Spike Lee at the top of his game. I see no signs of him slowing down either, because there is work to do. And I know Spike is hungry and will continue making beautiful work. Bullet point number 3. The change of aspect ratios is amazing. It was such a smart way to change time and shift the entire tone within one shot. It's brilliant. Also, I found it so fascinating that when we had any flashback, everyone except Chadwick Boseman was the age that they are in present time. They didn't use any de-aging technology until the very end, which was incredibly powerful, by the way. And what I loved about that is that it really felt like these men, especially Paul, who had severe PTSD, are still fighting their inner battles and demons. It was a brilliant move and so effective. It threw me off a little at first, and then when I started to think about like why that was being done, I thought, oh, this is genius. Bullet point number 4. I know none of you are surprised, but I cried. But not at the part you think I'd cry at. But you know that moment when David played by Jonathan Majors? He steps on a landmine and he thankfully survives it because his father saves him. I lost it. I don't know why, but I did. It was right after we saw poor Eddie, which was heartbreaking after he died. And then one of my favorite actors, Jonathan Majors, played off his father, Delroy Lindo, so perfectly. It was acting 101 between the two and had such an impact on me. Now that I think about it, I think that was my favorite scene of the entire movie. I loved how much heart it had. It brought the two together for this brief moment and it just tore me apart. Bullet point number 5, peanut butter and jelly, macaroni and cheese, Terence Blanchard and Spike. What do these things all have in common, you ask? They're all perfect together. It just works. Yet again, Blanchard proves he is a force. The score added so much to this film, nothing overpowered the story, but furthered it. That's always my thing with scores. Does it feel like it furthers the plot? And does it feel like its own character when needed? Yes and yes. I think this can go up against any of Blanchard's scores, including his Oscar-nominated score for BlacKkKlansman. Give him the nomination. Bullet point number 6. I just have to give a shout out to Broadway vet Norm Lewis. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant work. The only thing that would have made it better is if he sang something, but it probably would have taken away from the story, so it's okay. But you better believe that when I'm done recording this, I'm going to go ahead and listen to his 2008 album, This Is the Life, and maybe even stroll down memory lane and listen to some of Once on This Island. Y'all, if you are just joining the Norm Lewis train, welcome aboard. Bullet point number 7. This is gonna do some serious damage this award season. I also think it has a good chance at winning Ensemble at SAG. I just want to say all of these 4 incredible actors' names because they really did some powerful and profound work. Delroy Lindo, Clarke Peters, Norm Lewis, and Isaiah Whitlock Jr. And I guess, of course, the shout out to the Fifth Blood, Chadwick Boseman, and Jonathan Majors. The love between these men is so palpable and profound. Spike did such a beautiful job making these men feel like brothers. As far as awards, because I think Delroy will go lead, this entire film is the definition of an ensemble film, by the way. Like, everyone's kind of supporting, but it's his story. So besides that, I see it having a very good shot at picture, director. Lindo should go lead. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a push for Jonathan Majors, maybe Chadwick Boseman. Cinematography will be big for Newton Thomas Sigel. Production design, film editing could be a big, big player. Sound, and of course, score. So basically, I think this will be a huge player this award season. This is getting me so pumped for what's next. I'm giving To Five Bloods 4 stars. It's just so good. It's so Spike, and it is something the world needs to watch right now. It is hands down, the best film of the year. Also, I'll say it again and will continue to say it until the Oscars. Delroy Lindo, give him Oscar. Let me know what you thought of To Five Bloods in the comments. And so, my friends, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like this video, give me your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to this channel, as well as follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at mjoseph492. Like my page on Facebook, which is facebook.com/MaxJosephFilmPerson. Join the live chat, which is open 24/7, 365 on the Amino app. And if you really love me, please consider being a member of the channel, where you can get member-only content, guest interviews, giveaways, and lots more. You can even give me a film to review, a 10th of the month top 10 category, a ranking, or a song to sing. And that video will be dedicated to you. Shalom, my friends.